I don't want to go into this whole rant about the Cowboys this, the Cowboys that. My whole thing is that they're a team that we still don't know who they are. And it's okay. They're not a Super Bowl contending team. Let's just be honest. Have we put them on the pedestal because they're the Cowboys? Absolutely. That's why we're talking about them now. More importantly, we're talking about them now because they got embarrassed. Embarrassed. Like it's one thing to lose a tough game. Right? I keep telling people like, "Oh, it was a tough loss." A tough loss means that you actually had the opportunity to win. This was not a tough loss. This was an embarrassing loss. This was a demoralizing loss, especially when you have an owner who's trying to celebrate his birthday, have all his boys, his partners, right? His friends, his homeboy, everybody come on out. And you lose like that. Here's Jerry Jones post-game of the embarrassing loss to the Lions.
This was very concerning, and it was very humbling, and it was very, I felt bad because of all of our great fans, and especially the ones in the stadium, and certainly the ones that are all about the Cowboys. So we've got a lot of work to do. I'm glad we've got this bye week coming up here. It'll give everybody an opportunity to get out and actually practice what it is that takes you to be more successful in a game like this. This was a shocker. I thought we would do a lot of things better in that football game, and I think we can. We just didn't do them out there today.
You almost want to pass my man a tissue, right? Jerry Jones looked like he needed a tissue there. That's how emotional this thing is. Think about the passion that you put into it. And sometimes you have to make decisions. And maybe if that was Woody Johnson, Mike McCarthy probably would have been fired already, right? Oh, yeah. He would have been fired already. But that's a decision that Jerry Jones is going to have to make. Where's his football team at going into their bye week? He's got to make a decision on a head coach. I don't know if he's thinking about it, but we're thinking about it. We're going to talk about it. But here's Jerry Jones. Possibly, maybe does he make a decision on his head coach during the bye week?
I haven't even considered that. I'm not considering that. Just so you're clear, I'm not considering that.
But you've done it once before.
I wouldn't be a hypothetical in that matter. Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you? Okay, well, I'm not going hypothetical with you about when I'd consider coaching change in light of the timing we're sitting here with. I'm not at all.
I'm not. And he's not an idiot, too. May let you know that.
Well, and that's the problem.
That's the problem.
I mean, he's not considering it is a problem.
But, yeah, we know in a lame duck year, right, we knew that if the Cowboys didn't have success, obviously they're going to be switching head coaches. Or you just don't retain the coach. You don't necessarily fire him, right? Yeah. If a coach doesn't have another year, he's just not coming back. He's not technically fired. It's just we didn't renew the contract. But there's a lot of questions over the next couple of days. Bye weeks present opportunities for change. That's the one thing when I talk to head coaches, whether college or NFL, what did you get done during the bye week? And they always give me the coach talk. We got back to fundamentals, Kirk. We got back to technique. We got back to self-scouting, see who we are as a football team, where we're good at. And I'm like, if I'm asking the Dallas Cowboys that, I ask you guys this. What are they good at? What if I ask you right now, what do you hang your hat on right now if you're the Dallas Cowboys? They don't have a good running game. Zeke ain't Zeke. Dowdle sounds like a kid's game that you play growing up, right? Dak Prescott has been good and bad, but the pressure of a $60 million contract does get to you. I think we see more cutaways of CeeDee Lamb than we see receptions during a game. Yep. The offensive line is not necessarily the same. And then Mike Zimmer feels like after week one, I wanted to give him the Assistant Coach of the Year award, right? Remember against the Browns? I'm like, oh, give him the award. And then you realize the Browns stink. Yeah. Like it just takes you a couple more weeks to let it all play out, realize the Browns stink, and has the NFL game for Mike Zimmer passed him by. This isn't the 90s Cowboys anymore, Mike Zimmer. They do things a little bit differently. That's where I'm at with the Cowboys. So if I'm Jerry Jones, he's not pondering a decision, but why not? What are the Dallas Cowboys good at today? What can you hang your hat? What do I go in the locker room and say, you know what, fellas?
I know.
What are the Cowboys good at, TJ?
Mr. Cotter.
Mr. Jefferson.
We are tremendously excellent.
At what?
Perhaps the best in the world at kicking the oblong-shaped football made of pigskin through the uprights.
Brandon Aubrey,
as
okay.
Hakeem once said, we are tremendous. Brandon Aubrey at least gives me hope for that. I have him on my fantasy team as one of the few bonuses. So we're really good at that. I have in punting, we're good at.
Yeah.
And, other than that, Chris, I don't.
I'll leave you with this one because I don't want to keep my guy Quinshon Junkins waiting any longer. The running back of the Ohio State coming up there. I don't want him to be waiting. He's over in the green room right now. But I know one thing that the Cowboys are actually good at: podcasts. They're great at podcasting. They're great at quotes. They're great at interviews. They're great with the cameras in front of them when you ask them about football. But when you're actually playing football. So that's one thing the Cowboys can be good at.
Creation,
they are content creators. They are influencers.
Like I said, Jerry Jones, the human Geppetto, he always keeps everybody on the street.
Damn act together.
They are influencers. They are podcasters. And right now, they're just not a good football team.
Yeah, not a good football.
They're not a good football team.
We're worth a lot of money for what that's worth, you know.
I'm just saying right now, and I know it's tough to look across, and I know they lost yesterday, the Washington Commanders, and we'll get to that game because I'm still looking for you guys to tell me, name a better duo, Lamar and Derek.
Like quarterback, running back? Is that what we're talking about right now?
That's what I'm just throwing. I'm letting that marinate.
Antonio?
Yeah, I'm
or
trying
just
to
like closer, the best closer.
I'm letting that marinate because we can go a lot of different branches on that tree.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.